how is this violence, or how are these movements being fueled from abroad in India, and also, of course, in the foreign countries themselves?
It's the money which works. Money is the first motivation, and second is the ideological brainwashing. So, if the Western countries are supporting both, number one, the money, number two, the ideological brainwashing, it starts from way back. It's not a recent affair. If you look at who raised Taliban, you would know it was the CIA, it was the West. And now, there are several offshoots of Taliban, and you have Al Qaeda, you have so many uncountable jihadi organizations. Well, where do they get weapons from? There has to be somebody who manufactures it. Where do you get the bullets from? They're being sourced from somewhere. See, you need to understand disturbance in one country is a if I may again dare to say, a white man's business. So war is a business. War is a very big business. And there are people who benefit from people getting killed elsewhere. And like Panditji was saying that, the West has always promoted and the white man has always promoted a brown man killing a brown man. It doesn't hurt them. So long as, white people don't get killed, there is no discussion about it. I'm sorry, I have to quote an example here. When the war started in Ukraine, in Europe. So that's when, the world got its attention, and, they started thinking we need to support one side and not the other, just because it was in Europe. But the same countries were, bombarding Syria, Iraq at will. And they were in Afghanistan for 20 years, and they left back a huge cache of arms and ammunition for whom? For somebody they were fighting for 20 years. They spent billions and billions of dollars just to leave a country abandoned, just to abandon the people they came, apparently to save from the Taliban. And they had a discussion with the Taliban in Doha, and they handed over the country back to them. And not just the country, but a huge, huge cache of arms. They could have never procured such advanced technology. They could have never got their hands on American weapons. But this is what the West does. They have piled up weapons in Afghanistan. It's their business. So what you see happening, let's say what happened in Libya, what happened with Gaddafi, what happened with Saddam, or whatever. You can name any Arab, you can name any Middle Eastern country, you can name perhaps even Pakistan. So who do they care for? Nobody. War is a business. They would talk diplomacy with India and they will supply weapons to Pakistan. That's the reality. They would purchase energy from Russia, but they would ask India not to purchase energy from Russia. So there is a lot of hypocrisy in the way the West deals, because they know the true reality of themselves and their organizations or their agencies, that they are the ones responsible for destabilizing the world, creating war, and then supplying machinery, arms, bullets, these missiles, and all the asla and barut to the world. They will kill people for their business. This is what they do. So what's new about it? So if this is happening in India, they have been at it. As a matter of fact, if you go back in time and you see, Shreya, you will find that the people who fought for the freedom of this country never wanted a divided India. People get rattled when you discuss Akhand Bharat. What is Akhand Bharat? Akhand Bharat is the Bharat people fought for. The freedom of that country, which includes the present day Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and pardon me, even Sri Lanka and Bhutan. Burma, not Bhutan, Burma. So that is the Akhand Bharat we talk about. And I'm not even going up to Cambodia, because people say that Hindu roots are in Indonesia. People have recognized it. People get rattled when you talk about Akhand Bharat, but when they invade Iraq, when they kill Colonel Gaddafi, nobody discusses. आपको मंजर नजर आता है, आपको पशे मंजर नजर नहीं आता. You don't know what's going behind the scene. It was, when people die in one part of the world, there are people making money on those bodies in the other part of the world. This is the hard reality. And it doesn't matter to them whether people live or die. Whether it's a Hindu, a Sikh, a Muslim, perhaps even a Christian, they don't mind. They don't care. Because for them to profit, people have to die. So when you talk about where do they get their money from, there is a very long trail. And this has been happening for a very, very long time. It's nothing new. So Shreya, these are how it is. And India being a liberal democracy, and these people know the democratic values in the Constitution of India. They know, fault lines. They know how judiciary operates. They have injected and pumped billions of dollars into India just to destabilize India. Because a rising India is a challenge to the Western hegemony, the way Panditji was telling. So it's true. What Satishji was saying is absolutely correct. A rising India would challenge, जो वर्चस्व बोलते हैं ना, आप कहते हैं, जो पश्चिमी देशों का वर्चस्व है, उसको चैलेंज करता है भारत. And India is in a position today that in probably 4 or 5 years from now, you would see India in a position where no matter what the West tries, India will succeed. If you remember when you were kids, Pataji, I don't know what age you were, there used to be a song, Hum Honge Kamyab Ek Din. So that din has come, that day has come now. India is on its way to succeed, and hum kamyab ho gaye hain. In fact, we're there now. And that is why the West is so rattled, because unka jo ekadhikar hai, unka jo varchasva hai, that is being diluted. And not just diluted, it's being erased and eroded. And India, eventually, Bharat will be at the position which it deserves to be in. And that's a fact. And that rattles a lot of the people in the West. And they will do whatever they couldn't do. Shaheen Bagh, Kisan Andolan, or Amritpal. These things will become more common. But once this dust settles, the wind, the air will be so clear that the world will see India rise. The world will see India rise, and to much of hatred of the West, they would probably have to follow India for a lot of decisions that they make. Not just economically, militarily, but even diplomatically. India will lead the world. We are at the top now, and the time has come, Shreya. So this is what rattles them, and they will keep trying to destabilize India. And we have to know this fact, and we have to really play to it in a way and show them to their face that we know where you come from and we know what your intents are, and let it be very clear that there is going to be no conspiracy, no Break India gang, no Soros, no dollar, no money that can stop India succeeding now.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.